Hello, everybody. Jeff Bartle here, and I'm with my mother here. Here, we just finished watching the Rise of Skywalker, and we're about to give our reviews on it. Me and her. But since she's in a kind of in a hurry, I'm gonna let my mother go first. So, you have the floor.
Hello, everybody. His mother here. We watched the movie. I liked it. It brought a lot of things to the surface and put closure on a lot of things. I was a little disappointed that Ben died, but he came back to the good side, which made me happy. And he gave his life for his love, so that made me happy too. Anyway, I liked it. If you haven't seen it, take a moment and watch it.
Alright. And what would you give it on IMDb?
I'd give it about a 7.
Alright. Alrighty.
Bye, everybody.
Now it's my turn. Now it's my turn. Anyway, I thought it was okay. There could have been little things they could have done differently, especially if they planned the whole thing out from the start. Worked on the whole sequel trilogy from start to finish. Work on all the episodes like they did, like George Lucas did when he made the original trilogy. Maybe that would have been better for starters. I kind of knew. I had a feeling Hux was the spy, but I'm kind of disappointed at how he died. I wanted him to die a heroic act more than just helping them escape. Like in the final, like the self-sacrifice in the final battle, like that. And I kind of really wanted how do you say Chewie to Chewbacca to give his life for them. There's a lot of things I would have done differently, but too much of. But Rey as a Palpatine, that doesn't make sense, because who was Palpatine's child? They explain that in Legends, but not very. They possibly explain that in Legends, but not very well in canon. Hold on a minute, folks. It's with. There's just some things that just fit. There's just some things I wish I could have fixed. But there are. But there seems to be, how do you say? But there are a few good moments, so if you give me a sec, I can explain, or better yet, show you. And for one thing, at the end of The Last Jedi, that kid who with the what was he supposed to be, a Force sensitive? I think the sequel trilogy could have done that. done a little bit, done better, done properly. So, you know, like for example, the Last Jedi, I would have made it so Leia died in that one, not Luke. Or and Luke dying in the Rise of Skywalker. But I probably would have titled it something else. I think I wonder what it would have been. I still wonder what it would have been like if George Lucas directed it. But the problem is there's still some unanswered questions in the movie. So I'm gonna probably let me get it set up for you. So give me. So please bear in mind of me and give me a second. That's the best I can. Well, that's the best I can do. So you're gonna have to bear with me. So here are the top 10 Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker moments. So courtesy of WatchMojo.com, and tell me if you disagree or disagree with this list. Here we go.
Love it or hate it, there's no denying that this film made a big impression. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker moments.
He can't beat us every time. Apparently he does. How does he do it? This guy right here? It's because he cheats.
I'm kidding.
Come on, take your
You're
turn.
250
It's
years
taking
old.
forever. That's
You're
cheating.
better
That's why we
than
think
us.
you're cheating.
For this list, we're looking at 2019 Star Wars Episode 9: The Rise of Skywalker to highlight the most epic, emotional, and shocking moments. Please note, this video will contain major spoilers. Number 10, the Palpatine reveal.
Snoke trained you well.
I killed Snoke. I'll kill you.
There are those who wish that Emperor Palpatine had stayed dead, and that's fair. Exhuming the past has its drawbacks, but there's no denying the fact that when Emperor Palpatine came into frame for the first time since the prequel films, it felt epic.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
If you were lucky enough to be in attendance over opening weekend, depending on the theater, chances are you felt the audience erupt at the moment of his grand unveiling. With his glassy eyes, puckered, discolored skin, and rotting skeletal fingers, this is the Emperor like we've never seen him before.
Kill the girl, end the Jedi, and become what your grandfather Vader could not.
But, as he shows Kylo Ren, despite his fragile frame, he is as powerful as ever.
She is not who you think she is.
Who is she?
Number 9. Force Ghost abilities. One of the most frustrating things about the new Disney canon is how much mythology it relegates to legend status. In The Rise of Skywalker, however, we thankfully once again got to delve deeper into the lore of the franchise. Returning as a Force Ghost, Luke Skywalker demonstrates that even in his seemingly incorporeal state, he can interact with the physical world.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
He shows this by not only catching a lightsaber thrown by Rey, but also by raising his old X-Wing Red 5 from its watery grave. This had already been hinted at with Yoda's actions in The Last Jedi, but this scene solidified the ability of Force Ghosts to interact with the physical world.
Have fun and learn math at the same time.
Hey.
With adapted mind.
Sometimes I hate ads.
Number 8. The Cavalry arrives.
But there are more of us, Poe. There are more of us.
Though each of the 3 Star Wars trilogies has felt distinctly different in terms of tone, the one consistent factor is the importance of hope. From one film to the next, and often within a single film, our heroes vacillate between feelings of utter despair and belief in a better tomorrow. Rarely in the entire franchise, however, have these two sentiments been felt more acutely or in such close proximity to one another.
My friends, I'm sorry. I thought we had a shot.
Hope is what leads the Resistance into the battle above Exegol, where it is quickly dashed. Just when it seems as if the good guys are utterly doomed, Lando Calrissian returns with an entire army to reinforce them.
You did it! You Jedi!
It's a moment that makes you jump for joy, especially the appearance of Wedge Antilles.
Nice fly, Lando!
Number 7.
That's Wedge?
Teasing Rey's darkness. Many fans have taken issue with Rey's characterization
I did
of
not know
development
that.
in the sequel trilogy. But given her heritage and the brevity of the training she received under Luke Skywalker, an internal struggle between the light and dark side feels appropriate.
Don't be afraid of who you are.
Rey has good intentions, but she wasn't trained since childhood to control her emotions like the Jedi of yesteryear. And so, as she's pushed to her limits in this film, her emotions begin to bring out the darkness in her. Most notably, when fighting with Kylo Ren over the First Order transport ship, she accidentally uses Force Lightning, an ability typically associated with the dark side. It's a truly shocking moment that teases both her legacy and the crossroads she's fast approaching.
I saw myself on the Dark Throne. I won't let it happen. I'm never leaving this place. I'm doing what you did.
Number 6. Rey and Ben's lightsaber relay. We really wish that this trilogy had taken a bit more time to explain the connection between Rey and Kylo Ren. Their ability to interact with each other across distances is not only fascinating, but also a largely new addition to the franchise mythology.
I've been in your head.
I don't want this.
Search your memories.
Lack of explanation aside, the connection between Rey and Kylo does lend itself to one of the coolest scenes in recent Star Wars history. The two powerful Force users are able to pass a lightsaber back and forth in ways that defy the laws of space. Making for one seriously inventive fight choreography. Surprising Darth Sidious is something that very few people have ever done, but this is one move that not even he could have seen coming. Number 5. Chewbacca is feared dead. While Rey's accidental use of Force lightning serves to push her character development forward, it also had devastating repercussions. Chewbacca had just been taken aboard a similar ship to the one that Rey brings down. Since Rey believes he's aboard that vessel, the assumption is that she's just killed her friend. For fans everywhere, this moment was like a punch right to the gut, and arguably more devastating than the deaths of Luke and Han. Chewbacca's just so lovable and innocent. Thankfully, not only is it later revealed that Chewbacca has survived,
He's on my ship. He's alive.
he also gets the medal that fans feel he should have received years ago in A New Hope. Number 4. Luke and Leia's flashback.
There's something my sister would want you to have.
There's a lot to like about the sequel trilogy, but there are many fans who will always be sad to have missed out on the adventures of Luke, Han, and Leia in the years between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Of the many questions we had, Leia's relationship to the Force and her Jedi potential loomed large, though this scene was an incredibly brief one. Seeing a young Luke training Leia was freaking awesome. Not only did we see Leia pushing herself to the limits and embracing her inner Jedi, we also finally got an answer as to why she didn't become one like her brother.
Leia told me that she had sensed the death of her son at the end of her Jedi path. She surrendered her saber to me and said that one day it would be picked up again.
What's more, it makes Leia's spaceflight a lot easier to swallow in retrospect. Number 3. Hearing the Jedi. We know. According to various online reports, the voices heard in this scene were originally meant to be paired with numerous on-screen Force ghosts. If true, that would have been awesome. But taken at face value, these disembodied voices still make for an incredibly cool moment. As Rey faces off against the resurrected Emperor Palpatine, the odds seem stacked against her. Though she's seemingly alone, the voices of past generations of Jedi speak to her through the Force and reassure her that they stand behind her. She isn't alone. She's empowered by the Jedi legacy. The voices include those of Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin Skywalker, Mace Windu, and Ahsoka Tano.
The Force will be with you, always.
Number 2.
Just a heads up, they said Ahsoka Tano. How could they have said? There's a problem with that theory. How they said Ahsoka Tano lived through the Last Jedi. So how could that be? That might have been a plot hole there. You know, so they should have thought this all the way through before they actually did it.
2. Han Solo reappearing. Everyone's favorite scruffy-looking nerf herder got an emotionally powerful send-off in The Force Awakens.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
And given his lack of connection to the Force, fans by and large accepted that was it for him. In a series where characters can rise from the dead in various ways, Han Solo was just about the last person we expected to see.
I miss you, son.
Son is dead.
Now. Kylo Ren is dead.
And that's what makes this scene so damn effective. Han might just be a memory in Ben's mind, but his presence, coupled with Leia's sacrifice, is what brings their son back from the dark side. In a scene that mirrors and inverts their previous fatal encounter, Han and Ben Solo finally make amends, and it is a total tearjerker.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Did your favorite episode 9 moment involve new or old characters? You think it tops our list? I gotta say, all of these moments so far are pretty epic. But our number 1 is the most epic of all. So let's look through the honorable mentions and then we shall relive it.
My faithful, now you will stop the return of the Sith!
I am C3 human-cyborg relations. And you are? What? Well, I'm quite certain I would remember if I had a best friend.
Babu Frick, can you help us with this?
Working.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Ben's death. With the return of Ben Solo to the light side, the title Rise of Skywalker took on yet another possible meaning.
So falls the last Skywalker.
The final battle with Palpatine sees both Ben and Rey bested by the Dark Lord of the Sith at various points. But in the end, despite Rey being the one to make the ultimate sacrifice to kill Palpatine, it's Ben who becomes one with the Force. It's a nice reversal of what happened earlier in the film when Rey healed Ben, and it serves as a perfect end to his redemption arc. He sacrifices himself in order to revive Rey, and after they share a brief kiss, he passes on. This might be an imperfect film, but it's hard to fault the ending it gave to Kylo Ren. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Do you agree with the list? Okay, let's get to the next one. Okay, now this list focus on what almost happened in the Rise of Skywalker, allegedly. Courtesy of Watch Mojo, so don't forget to thank them and like and subscribe to them if you know what I mean. Alrighty, so let's start.
Many above us died to bring us this information.
The rumors are strong with this one. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the 10 things that almost happened in the Rise of Skywalker, allegedly.
Film reel labeled alternate ending Luke's father is Chewbacca. Oh!
For this list, we're putting on our tinfoil hats and taking a look at some of the most compelling, buzzworthy, interesting, and juiciest bits of gossip about the creative decisions behind Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. This list mainly stems from allegations brought forth by an admin from one of the biggest Star Wars Reddits. So take it all with a grain of salt, as none of it can be or has been confirmed.
What a piece of junk!
A major spoiler alert is now in effect. And another warning, we will be using the words allegedly, apparently, reportedly, and supposedly a lot.
I'm sorry, I know.
Number 10, two movies. The first 30 minutes of The Rise of Skywalker play like the recap of a film you've never seen before. Sure, the trademark Star Wars opening crawl is inherently designed to be a bit of an exposition dump, but never before has one seemed so overstuffed or detached from the preceding film. As is the case with many third installments and trilogies, critics say Episode 9 feels rushed and leaves little room for context or quiet moments.
I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
It's perhaps not so far-fetched then that J.J. Abrams reportedly wanted to turn this trilogy into a quadrilogy in order to do the plot and characters justice. For example, don't you think the Palpatine storyline, as well as Rey's parentage, could have benefited from more time to gestate and come about organically?
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Number 9. No credit for JJ. Getting to make a Star Wars movie is, for countless aspiring filmmakers, the ultimate fantasy. But as many directors will tell you, trying to create the movie you envision within the Hollywood studio system can be a thankless and frustrating process. J.J. Abrams is one of the biggest and most sought-after directors working today. If the rumors are to be believed, he apparently felt that he'd lost creative control of the film to the point that he wanted his name removed from the final version entirely. We'll be getting into plenty more specifics as to why Abrams might have wanted his name off the project throughout this video, but for now, let's just sit with the fact that things apparently got so bad and the House of Mouse apparently threw its weight around so much that we even need to talk about this.
How dare you call me that?
Number 8, a Finn and Poe kiss.
I've fallen deeply, deeply in love with this movie.
The sequel trilogy has featured a whole lot of romantic tension and not a whole lot of actual romance. The Force Awakens set things up to look like Finn was interested in Rey. But after the events of Episodes 7 and 8, it's clear that Finn and Poe have formed a similarly strong bond.
Oh, Cameron, you're alive. Buddy, so are you.
There were some cinema-goers that felt there was overt sexual and romantic tension between the ex-Stormtrooper and the Resistance pilot. Well, according to the Redditor's source, that tension was real and intentional. Finn Poe was meant to be canon, and both Abrams and the actors were on board.
These guys love each other, you know, and the truth is, as a performer, you know, I can only do so much because I don't get to write the scripts, but other than say, I would think that would be a great way for the story to go in a much more original one.
As the story goes, however, this plot ultimately got nixed by the higher-ups, and replaced with that easily edited out same-sex kiss at the end. Number 7, more grounded stormtroopers.
We spotted the fugitive.
Star Wars as a franchise has always been a merchandising juggernaut. From the release of the very first film, anything having to do with George Lucas's galaxy far, far away has flown off the shelves. Need we remind anyone about the toy vouchers from the first Christmas after the release of A New Hope? Though the line
Things flying now!
landed nicely in terms of adding a bit of comedy to this thrilling chase scene, the concept of stormtroopers whizzing through the air has appeared in Star Wars before. So why is it a big deal all of a sudden? Answer, it's there to sell toys. And apparently, that wasn't on JJ's list of priorities. According to this alleged leak, it elicited an audible groan from him at the premiere.
They fly now!
Number 6, more JJ-isms.
He said, we have a script.
That was it.
Okay, that was a scoop.
That was a big deal.
That was a big script
For us.
Did you shoot that script?
We we did. But, you know, as you go along, you get a better idea. And you think, oh, well, let's adjust this, let's adjust that. But we did shoot the script.
When J.J. Abrams was asked to return to the Star Wars universe for the third installment of the sequel trilogy, it was allegedly under the pretense that he'd get greater creative control than he'd been given for The Force Awakens. The studio supposedly wanted to play it safe with their first Star Wars film. And it really shows.
That droid has a map that leads straight to Luke Skywalker. Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
After the fan backlash over the creative decisions made by Rian Johnson in The Last Jedi, however, It's alleged that Disney ultimately felt it best to create the next film by committee. Essentially, Abrams apparently came on board with the promise that he could do it his way, only to find himself working with increasingly strict studio mandates as production progressed.
It just, there were so many issues and things and
Did you ever
characters.
think, I can't.
I think every day there was a moment of oh God,
Number 5. Force Ghosts of Anakin, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan.
I sense a great deal of confusion in you, young Skywalker. There is much fear that clouds your judgment.
Why would anyone want to rob fans of this epic moment? It's not like The Rise of Skywalker was otherwise self-conscious about serving up fan service. In the third act, when Rey is facing Palpatine, she hears the voices of the Jedi who've come before her. Well, according to the leak, this moment apparently originally involved numerous Force ghosts appearing behind her to protect her from the Sith acolytes in the stands. According to the source, not only was this moment in the script, Abrams actually shot it, and it included Samuel L. Jackson, Ewan McGregor, and Hayden Christensen in costume. However, so far, no actor has spoken out about this scene, so who knows?
So the prophecy says.
Number 4. A clearer and more meaningful death for Leia.
I know my son is gone. No one's ever really gone.
Like we said, many critics pointed out the Rise of Skywalker's rushed pace. Obviously, Abrams was working with limited footage of Carrie Fisher due to her untimely passing in 2016, but even so, diehards felt shortchanged by what they got. There was apparently originally supposed to be a more substantial explanation as to what exactly Leia was doing when she died. Allegedly, General Organa was actually force projecting Han using both her memories as well as Ben's. And, just like Luke in Episode 8, using the Force like this proved too much for her. This likely would have made her grand gesture more meaningful and easier to follow. Not to mention, it would have given a better explanation as to why Han appeared despite not being a Jedi.
That's not how the Force works. Oh, really? You're cold?
Number 3. Confirmation of Finn's Force sensitivity. Watch Mojo ranked a whole list of unanswered questions in The Rise of Skywalker, so it's safe to say that Star Wars fanatics point to more than a few plot holes and questionable creative choices in their critiques of the movie. However, one of the most glaring and frustrating abandoned plot points was Finn's secret. When our intrepid hero seemed doomed to a fate similar to the one that Poe narrowly avoided in The Force Awakens, Finn frantically tries to tell Rey something. Then they survive, and he never follows up. Like many suspected based on various hints and allusions, Abrams apparently intended to have Finn reveal that he's Force-sensitive. According to the leak, in an earlier cut of the film, he actually Force-moved something on the Star Destroyer, much to his surprise. But that moment ended up being replaced with BB-8 fixing whatever he was fixing. Number 2. No Reylo kiss.
Why did you hate your father? Do you have something, a cowl or something you can put on?
Even long before the film came out, Daisy Ridley was vocal about being anti-Reylo. Now that we've actually seen Kylo and Rey locking lips on screen, it seems a lot of people out there agree. In fact, another person who shared Ridley's resistance to making Ben Solo and Rey's connection a romantic one, director J.J. Abrams. According to the mysterious Reddit source, Ben was always meant to die, and he and Rey were meant to share a heartfelt moment, but Abrams never intended to seal it with a kiss, allowing their connection to remain more ambiguous. The scene was also supposed to be about 4 minutes longer and contain much more dialogue. As to what the two platonically connected Force users would have said, we'll likely never know, unless there really is a JJ cut, of course.
You need a teacher! I can show you the ways of the Force!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, like pretty much everything.
Have you seen something?
This was the reason the hashtag #ReleaseTheJJ was trending on Twitter. According to the leak, the final film originally had a runtime of 3 hours and 2 minutes, and at the behest of Disney, Abrams cut it down to 2 hours and 37 minutes. So how come the version we saw in theaters was 2 hours and 22 minutes? Well, allegedly, it was cut even further by Disney behind Abrams' back. Of course, this would by no means have been the first time a studio insisted on having final say. That's why director's cuts exist. But final theatrical cuts are usually the product of a lot of back and forth between the studio and the filmmaker. What's even worse, Abrams allegedly wasn't even made aware that the last cut he'd submitted had been altered until he saw it at the premiere.
Salt.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Sorry for the censor. But that was a real, spoiler. So I didn't want to spoil it because that's the next one. Right here, the top 10 unanswered questions in the Rise of Skywalker. So let's see what they didn't answer. Enjoy. Oh, this video too is courtesy of WatchMojo.com. So be sure to check out their channel and subscribe to it. Oh. Don't do it. Oh, darn it. Has to be this way. Oh well. Here you go.
After 9 episodes and 42 years, we're still a galaxy far, far away from knowing everything. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unanswered questions in The Rise of Skywalker. For this list, we're taking a look at plot points from Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, as well as a couple of mysteries that were established in the sequel trilogy's previous 2 entries that ultimately left us hanging. We cannot stress this enough, but this list is strong with spoilers.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir.
Number 10. Where did Janna come from? Played by Naomi Ackie, Janna is one of several new characters we meet in The Rise of Skywalker. Like Finn, Janna and her fellow freedom fighters abandoned the First Order. Seeking refuge on the ocean moon of Kefir, Janna's tribe joins forces with the Resistance. Although we're given a strong idea of who Janna is now, her life before the First Order remains ambiguous.
She is this fierce, strong, powerful woman. She is skillful.
With a lightsaber, maybe?
With a bow and arrow.
Having a heart-to-heart with Lando Calrissian towards the end of the film, Janna says she isn't sure where she came from or who her people are, and Lando suggests they find out together. According to leaks that came prior to the film's release, Lando's daughter was taken by the First Order, but this isn't mentioned in the final film. Could their scene together be hinting at a biological connection? If so, we guess it's a small galaxy after all.
Everyone's invited, of course.
Number 9. What is Reylo's relationship status?
Do you have something, a towel or something you can put on?
Ever since The Force Awakens, there's been some debate about Rey and Kylo Ren, or Reylo as the internet has dubbed them. Some predicted they might be related, while others expected a romance to spark. The Rise of Skywalker reveals there's no blood shared between the two, but their relationship status remains in a gray area. It takes all of Ren's strength to save Rey, who thanks him with a passionate kiss on the lips before his body vanishes. The shippers may argue that this means Rey and Ren were in love. If these movies have taught us anything, though, it's that sometimes people just get caught up in the moment.
Please don't go this way. No, you're still holding on. Let go.
Just look at Finn and Rose, or Luke and Leia.
Well, I guess you don't know everything about women yet.
Number 8. What is the significance of the yellow lightsaber? We still don't know the story behind how Maz Kanata got Luke's lightsaber. In any case, Rey ultimately returns both Luke and Leia's lightsabers to the Lars family home. Rey now carries her own lightsaber, which has the distinction of being yellow rather than the more typical blue or green. This is the first time we've seen a main character wield a yellow lightsaber in the movies, but this weapon is not new to the canon. While The Rise of Skywalker doesn't elaborate, yellow lightsabers were common in the Jedi Sentinel, particularly among Jedi temple guards.
I'm here with evidence and a confession from the person responsible for all of the crimes Ahsoka has been accused of.
Whereas their lightsabers were double-bladed though, Rey's is single-bladed. Could her lightsaber be teasing a return not only of the Jedi, but of the Jedi Sentinel as well?
Some fresh air I require.
It's okay. He's with me.
Well, either that or yellow is just Rey's favorite color. Number 7. What has Lando been up to all these years? Well, it was great catching up with Lando Calrissian. We're given little insight into what happened to him between Return of the Jedi and now.
Red group, gold group, all fighters follow me. Told you they could do it.
The most we learn about him is that he put his flying days behind him. Although it isn't long until he's back in the Millennium Falcon's cockpit. We never really learn why Lando gave up piloting in the first place, however, or why it's taken him this long to join up with the Resistance. The film also doesn't delve into how Lando responded to Han's demise, or Ben Solo's turn to the dark side.
All right, old buddy. No, I know what she means to me. I'll take good care of her. She won't get a scratch.
You know, we could use a Disney Plus series to fill in the gaps.
We've got to be able to get some kind of reading on that shield, up or down.
Number 6. What is Pryde's history with Palpatine?
He is somebody that has absolutely no sense of humor, plays the highest status, and has an ambiguous attitude towards Kylo Ren.
At first, it looks like Allegiant General Pryde, played by Richard E. Grant, might be the spy leaking information to the Resistance. Well, turns out that not only is Pryde a loyal First Order officer, he's also been communicating directly with Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious. Pryde apparently used to serve the Emperor back in the day, although the film doesn't expand on this information. Was Pryde just part of the Galactic Empire, or was he aiding Palpatine even before the Galactic Republic fell?
Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
When did Palpatine reconnect with Pryde? Have they been chit-chatting via hologram since the events of The Force Awakens? If so, why hasn't Pryde played a bigger role in the sequel trilogy until now? Or, as some have theorized, is Pryde somehow related to Grand Moff Tarkin? Whatever the case, we find this character's lack of backstory disturbing.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Number 5. How Force-sensitive is Finn?
Hey.
We may not see him levitating off the ground surrounded by rotating rocks anytime soon, but the Force could be stronger with Finn than we initially thought. A couple of times throughout The Rise of Skywalker, Finn senses certain things, like Rey's presence for example. While Finn's instincts are left somewhat vague, it's heavily implied he's Force sensitive, but to what degree?
Now, go! I need a weapon! You have one!
This isn't necessarily the first time Finn has demonstrated Force powers either, as some have argued that he sensed the Hosnian system's destruction. Could this mean that Finn will learn the ways of the Force and help Rey form a new Jedi Order? Okay, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but Finn just might be taking his first steps. Plus, he already knows a thing or two about lightsabers. Number 4. What does the Palpatine family tree look like?
Your feeble skills are no match for the power of the dark side.
So, we've finally found out who Rey's parents are, ish. But this revelation also invites a few more questions. If Palpatine is Rey's grandfather, who's her grandmother?
The Force will be with you.
Always.
Did the Emperor have a phantom girlfriend or something? The film doesn't go into Palpatine's love life, which we suppose is for the best, but maybe the Dark Lord didn't continue his lineage in the conventional fashion. In Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine tells Anakin the story of Darth Plagueis, who supposedly used midi-chlorians to create life.
Darth Plagueis is the Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise. He could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life.
While fans have interpreted the scene in varying ways, what if Palpatine used this power to spawn his offspring? This actually ties into a popular theory that Plagueis was Anakin's father, hence his mysterious birth. Alas, this all remains speculation. Number 3. What was Finn gonna tell Rey? As our heroes sink into the Star Wars equivalent of quicksand, Finn starts to tell Rey something he's been wanting to get off his chest. After surviving that brush with death, Rey immediately asks Finn what he was gonna say. Finn claims he'll tell her later when Poe isn't around, but that moment never comes. What was on Finn's mind? Was he gonna declare his love for her? Was he gonna thank her for saving his life back on Starkiller Base?
That's what I
Was
was
he
hoping
gonna
for.
tell Rey that she's a Palpatine? Okay, that last one is beyond unlikely,
The
but
love
they
thing
set
is
up
what I
a
was
plot point that goes nowhere. For that matter, we still don't know what Rey wanted Chewie to tell Finn for her in The Last Jedi.
If you see Finn before I did,
Number 2. When did Rey learn Force healing?
It's an instinct.
A few new Force powers have been introduced to the canon in recent years, and we can now add healing to the list. Rey uses this power once to heal a wounded creature on Pisana, and again to save Kylo Ren. Up to now, Force healing has played a prominent role in Star Wars Legends, but in the official canon, we've only seen such a power a couple of times. Aside from the Rise of Skywalker, there was when Obi-Wan met Luke in A New Hope, and the child from The Mandalorian has also displayed this ability.
He's trying to eat me.
What remains unclear is how long Force healing has been a thing, and where did Rey pick it up? Did she learn it herself? Did Leia teach her? Or did Rey meet grown-up Baby Yoda at some point? Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I don't want it to be.
Tomorrow, at dawn, 3 lessons. I will teach you the ways of the Jedi and why they need to end.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Emperor Strikes Back. Palpatine's demise in Return of the Jedi seemed pretty conclusive. Like, how do you bounce back from this? The Rise of Skywalker wastes no time bringing Palpatine back, however. The opening crawl's first line literally reads, "The dead speak." This indicates up front that Palpatine did indeed die at the hands of Vader, but has since been resurrected. Considering that the dark side works in mysterious ways, Force healing is canon now, and we've already talked about the potential power of midi-chlorians, we guess Palpatine's resurrection isn't without some logic. But how long has he been back for? Why did he choose now to make his presence known? For all the exposition we are given, Palpatine's comeback requires viewers to fill in a lot of gaps. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
We get it. You don't really want your kids.
Thank Watch Mojo for that, okay? Okay? Okay, one last thing I'm gonna show you. I'm sorry about the lights off and all, but I gotta do it in the dark. I gotta do it in the dark. They say So then there are 24 reasons that that Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows are the same. Do you believe that? Well, let's take a look and find out. Oh, and this video is courtesy of Couch Tea, so be sure to thank him for this video, and be sure to subscribe to his channel. See this before we get our final, before I reveal my final thoughts and final message. Alrighty, here we go.
Thank you. This is supposed to be the last installment of the saga. I say supposed to be because I'm pretty sure the movie studios will find a way to stretch the saga in the future to milk the franchise. The movie starts off deep in the forest. The bad guy is searching for this relic, and he finally finds it hidden underneath the stone. The villain was already killed before, but still manages to come back to life. We learn the secret to his dark magic is that he's found a way to clone himself, so no matter how much times you kill him, as long as another copy of his consciousness exists, he could use it to come back to life. The heroes have a meeting, and the pep talk is pretty simple. They need to find all the MacGuffin devices, or they're going to die. The heroes are on a treasure hunt to steal artifacts owned by the villain. They have 8 or 9 near-death experiences during the first half hour, so it's tough to imagine that all of the characters will survive the film. During their journey, they meet up with a character who was introduced in the 5th film of the saga. He's a friend of their dead mentor. After meeting the old friend, they try to stay below the radar. They find the secret passageway. The secret passageway is the stupidest shortcut in the world and leads them right into the face of danger. The men with the black cloaks attack them. The good news is that the main characters make it out alive. The bad news is the bad guys catch a hostage, and that gives them the leverage over the heroes. It's tough to sneak around without being detected because the bad guy and hero share a neural link. They both use this as a tracker technique, so there's literally nowhere to run and hide. Later on, the main character pulls the memory from one of the supporting characters. This helps in finding the location of the item they're searching for. A revelation happens, and the hero learns the truth about his or her own parents. It's tough to watch, but everything the parents did was to protect their child. The bigger revelation is that the guy the hero spent the last 2 films hating is actually a spy and has been on their side all along. The team finds what they're looking for, and they're one step closer to their ultimate goal. They run as fast as they can, but as fast as they can isn't quick enough. The henchman chases them down and challenges his arch enemy to a duel. He loses and almost gets killed. Just like an episode of the Batman cartoon, the hero won't let an enemy die and saves his life instead. The main character gets a visit from the dead mentor, and the ghost gives the hero a pep talk before the final showdown. Along with a vote of confidence from the dead mentor, the ghost's old weapon is gifted to the hero, and now the powerful weapon yields to the main character. Meanwhile, a war between both armies takes place, and I lose count of all the secondary characters that die or get seriously injured. The hero and villain meet face to face, and it looks like a scene out of Ghostbusters. The bad guy loses and is obliterated, along with any chance of him being able to return for a future sequel. No man should have all that power. To make sure no one does, the weapon that the hero inherited from the dead mentor is thrown away where no one could ever find it. Those are 24 reasons these movies are the same. You agree? Yes, no, maybe so? If not, politely share your thoughts in the comment section below, and click the subscribe button for more 24 Reason videos.
Fixed is a device that plugs into any car since 1996. Every car has this little port just under the steering wheel that our It's the same thing that a mechanic could plug their big stamps into. And then it connects via Bluetooth to an app that we've created on the user's smartphone.
This is fixed.
This is fixed.
Yeah. And this is essentially the onboard computer inside your vehicle. Fixed gets plugged in and extracts the information. One of the many tens of thousands of things that could be going on in your car.
Exactly. And then we take that information and send it over Bluetooth to your phone. From there, we digest all that really complex car terminology and car data, and then put it into terms that anybody can understand. That whole repair process hasn't really changed much in the last 50 years.
Sorry, I had a little accident.
Bring some transparency to that whole process.
And that's probably why you want to be.
Anyway, hey, I don't know this weekend. So here are my final. It could have done better. The whole sequel trilogy could have done better. Probably. It's not a. Anyway, but more to the. Oh, that's my final thought. But here's a special surprise I'm gonna do. A year from today or tomorrow, or 5 years from today or tomorrow, I'm gonna be making a YouTube video of what would I would have done. 2 YouTube videos. One saying what would I have done if I was put in charge of the Star Wars universe after George Lucas sold it to Disney, and 2, what would I have done differently if I was in charge of the sequel trilogy. So, be ready for that between next year on these 2 days, on today and tomorrow. And May the Star Wars Day and May the 4th be with you, and Revenge of the 5th Day. And or between then and between next year and the 5-year anniversary. I think it was released in 1975. Let's see. Actually, let me correct that. Between next year, between 2021 and 2020, I'll release it on either 2021 or 2022. Actually, I'll probably release in 2022. It'll take me a lot of work to do it. That's a 5-year anniversary, though. According to it, it'll be the 45th anniversary of Star Wars. That'd be a good time to release it. So, because as a rule take, always release when you're doing a specific movie. Always release it on a specific date. Like, for example, a shark movie, best release it on Shark Week. Or a Star Wars movie, try to release it on like Star Wars Day or something. Alright? Get more it gets more people interested. But anyway, thanks for watching our review. Now don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and if you can, help my channel grow by liking and subscribing. Liking this video and subscribing to my channel, and sharing this channel with as many people as you can. Friends, family, complete strangers, the possibilities are endless. And help this video get 100 plus views by sharing this video with as many people as you can. Friends, family, complete strangers. The possibilities are endless. But until then, this is Jerry Bartos saying, may the burn be with you. Always. Let me see. May the force be with you always. Bye.